Welcome to the Visall's World. Subscribe, like, and share. Most popular countries in Africa. Africa boasts of mountains that tower high, crystal clear blue beaches, an amazing wildlife, ranges, amazing cuisines, music, incredible works and expressions of art, monuments, rich histories, culture and nature at its best. Every country in this untamed contingent has amazing sceneries and an incredible cultural experience. According to the World Travel and Tourism Council, an estimated 3.8 million jobs, with an additional 2.4 million indirect jobs, could be generated in sub-Saharan Africa's tourism industry within the next 10 years period. This goes on to elucidate the importance of tourism to the economy of African countries and why the government of more African countries are becoming more attracted to investing in the tourism of their countries and, in extension, their popularity. These facts make most countries in this continent a famous tourist destination for leisure and recreation. Some of the world's largest economies like Egypt, South Africa, and Nigeria are member states of this beautiful continent. Because of its many inhabitants, it has become the dream land of most manufacturers like China and other foreign investors to meet consumers of every product possible. Africa also exports an abundance of natural resources such as diamonds, gold, petroleum, platinum, natural gases, a variety of agricultural produces, and even human labor. Advancements in infrastructure and technological advancements are part of what has brought so much attention to countries of Africa. Africa has also borne world-renowned personalities who have gone on to make the continent the enigma it is. Nelson Mandela, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, Aliko Dangote, Kwame Nkrumah, and the list is endless. These men and women have through their feats made their countries known and renowned around the world. The above are some of the reasons for increased attention of the world on Africa. Top 7 most popular and well-known countries in Africa. Below are a list of 7 of the most popular countries of Africa in no particular order. 7. Algeria. Algeria is officially known and referred to as the People's Democratic Republic of Algeria and is located in northern part of Africa. The country shares its borders with Tunisia, Mali, Morocco, Libya, Niger, and Mauritania. The country is one of the most popular countries in Africa, holding the title as the 10th largest nation in the world and the largest in the African continent. Its landmass spanning across an area of about 2,381,741 square kilometers and a population of about 44 million people. Algeria is notable for being the 32nd most populous country in the world, a regional power in North Africa, as well as having one of the highest human development index in the continent. It is also renowned in Africa for its military might and sophistication that is one of the best in the continent. Algeria still remains one of the largest suppliers of natural gas to the European market, and a member of most international organizations like UNO and many others. 6. Ethiopia. The Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia is a country in the northeastern part of Africa. Aside the fact that Ethiopia shares borders with many African countries, it has an estimated population of about 114 million people as at 2022, making it stand out as the 13th most populous country in the world. While Nigeria continued to take the lead as the most populous country in Africa, Ethiopia remains the second most populous country in the continent, with Addis Ababa, which is one of the most developed cities in the country, as the capital of the country. Ethiopia remains one of the most popular country in Africa. The country is known for her cultural diversity and heritage. There are about 80 different ethnic groups in the country, which makes it one of the countries with great cultural tolerance. There are quite prestigious personalities from Ethiopia who has projected the country's image beyond the shores of the country, like Leah Kebed, who is an Ethiopian model and actress who is also into clothing designs as well as health advocacy. The celebrity model rose to a level in her career when she became the 11th most paid model in the world. The company has been noted to be one of the poorest countries in the world as a result of its income per capita, as well as in the area of Human Development Index. There's quite an alarming rate of human rights neglect in the country, as well as the declining rate of illiteracy. The country seemed to be struggling with viable strategy for rapid economic development. It is one of the most popular countries in Africa. 5. Morocco. The state known officially as the Kingdom of Morocco is in the northwesternmost part of North Africa. It has an estimated population of 37,112, 80 people who speak Arabic as their official language and are 99% Muslims. Morocco is such a fascinating country. The culture, the landscape, to the religion just gets you all enthralled in its beauty and extravagance. Modern-day Morocco gained its independence on the 7th of April 1956 from France and Spain and unified its divided protectorate. Since then, the country has remained somewhat stable. In recent ratings, it has become the 5th largest economy in Africa and controls very significant influence in both Africa and the Arab League of countries. It runs a unitary parliamentary semi-constitutional monarchy. This simply means that they have a king, a prime minister, and a double parliamentary chamber. The capital of Morocco is Rabat, and its largest city is Casablanca. Morocco is famous for its deserts areas, mountains, lush forests, ancient cities, and beautiful coastlines. Morocco developed a plan called Plan Azure. It apportioned tourist zones to 6 coastal areas. Each zone is themed to suit a particular tourist need such as sports, ecotourism, and culture. Morocco has been very successful in building its tourism sector as over 10 million people are attracted to their offers every year. One of Morocco's most incredible features, the Atlas Mountains collects and stores rainwater and snowmelt, providing the verdant valleys that are below. Morocco's athletes have never missed any Olympics since 1960, and this has added to their popularity all around the world. 4. Kenya. The Republic of Kenya is an Eastern African country that inhabits an estimated population of over 54,985,698 citizens. This country is famed for having a panoramic scenery and geography, a diverse wildlife, the Maasai warriors, and Kalenjin athletes. Kenya got its independence from the United Kingdom on the 12th of December 1963, and a year later declared itself a republic on the 12th of December 1964. It runs a presidential representative republic, where the people are represented by elected officials and the head of state is the president. Its capital is Nairobi. Kenya is considered the 3rd largest economy in sub-Saharan Africa, coming after Nigeria and South Africa. Kenya has a very rich history in music and artistic expressions such as traditional oral and written literature. Its athletes, especially those of the Maasai Kalenjin tribe, go on to win marathons and endurance sports every year. Kenya is famous for its world-leading lush and beautiful safaris that boast the Big Five, originally described in Africa as the hardest animals to hunt. In Kenya, you can also find the Masai Mara Game Reserve where annually, over 1 million wildebeest, zebra and antelope around the Serengeti Masai Mara ecosystem migrate clockwise. It has high snow-capped mountains that are scattered inland. One of them is the 2nd largest mountains in Africa, Mount Kenya. Kenya is also known to be the birth home of famous Hollywood actress Lupita Nyong'o, politicians Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta, prolific writer Ngugi wa Thiong'o, and the black man that broke the jinx in the Oval Office of the USA, Barack Obama. 3. Nigeria. The most populous country in Africa is as well the most populous black nation on earth. It is inhabited by over 211 million citizens, with over 525 different languages including the very common Nigerian pidgin and the official lingua franca, English. Nigeria gained its independence from Britain in 1960 and since then went through a civil war that lasted for 3 years between 1967 through 1970. A back-and-forth dictatorial military and civilian government that comprised a number of coups d'etat up until 1999, when an election ushered in a stable democratic system of government. It runs a federal presidential republic with a 2-chambers legislative arm of government called the National Assembly. Nigeria's capital is Abuja and its largest and most populous city is Lagos, renowned as Africa's Big Apple. Nigeria was seen in Africa as a regional power and is one of the leading developing economies of the world. It has the 25th largest economy in the world and the largest economy in Africa owing to its large deposit of natural resources such as petroleum and natural gases and its large labor force, often referred to as the Giant of Africa and as an emerging market by the World Bank. Nigeria at some point was once referred to as one of the mint countries of the world. In pre-colonial times, the geographical area now known as Nigeria had civilizations, states, kingdoms, and settlements that lived and made their living on the lands that are now called Nigeria, notably the Benin Kingdom, the Nok people of Jos, the Kingdom of Ife, and so on. As such, Nigeria has a very rich and diverse cultural heritage. It plays host to several ceremonies and festivals that are elaborate, colorful, and attracts a lot of tourists. It has a lot of nature to showcase to its visitors, as well as a lot of indigenous cuisines and a budding hospitality industry competing to satisfy. Nigeria is home to Nollywood, the world's 2nd largest producers of movies, only after Bollywood of India, and ahead of Hollywood of the United States of America. Part of what makes Nigeria popular is that it has also produced African music exports that have gone on to serenade the world and sell their home country's famous Afrobeat music genre to a wider audience, off the shores of Africa. It is worthy of note to state that the richest man in Africa according to Forbes, Aliko Dangote, is a national of Nigeria, so also the literary Nobel laureate, Professor Wole Soyinka, and the current Director General World Trade Organization, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. 2. South Africa. The country at the southernmost tip of Africa, South Africa is home to the famous freedom fighter and president, late Nelson Mandela. The multi-ethnic and multilingual country has an estimated population of 60,142,978 as at 2021. The ethnic makeup of South Africa comprises blacks, whites, colored, and Asian. South Africa, whose largest city is Johannesburg, has a capital for each arm of its government: Pretoria for its executive arm, Cape Town for its legislative arm, and Bloemfontein for its judicial arm. It runs a unitary dominant party parliamentary republic with an executive office of the presidency. South Africa is widely famous for the apartheid struggles that was institutionalized by the National Party in 1948 till the 1980s, when the discriminatory laws started being repealed. It is also popular for being one of the world's largest manufacturers of gemstones and precious metals. It is the world's capital of platinum, as it produces and exports the largest amount of platinum in the world, and it also comes fourth in the world's list of diamond producers, coming in position after Botswana, Canada, and Russia. South Africa comes as Africa's second leading tourist export after Morocco, as over 10 million tourists throng the many historical sites and beautiful cities of the country. South Africa is not called the party capital of Africa for nothing. The largest southern African country by land mass boasts of the most modern cities in Africa, with beautiful coastlines, wildlife safari, national parks, historical sites like the Cradle of Humankind in Gauteng, where there is a 2-million-old fossil remains, and much more. The very beautiful country has also produced famous men like Nelson Mandela, Desmond Tutu, Albert Lufulai, and F.W. de Klerk, who all played major roles in ending the apartheid government and are Nobel Peace Prize laureates. South Africa is popular for its apartheid history, tourist attractions, an amazing culture, the beautiful array of wildlife and plants, the lifestyle they offer, important personalities, etc. 1. Egypt, the land of the pharaohs, as it is popularly called, is a country with so much fascinating history and culture recorded. Ancient Egypt has a rich history that includes political power tussles, amazing advances in art and writing, advances in technology and engineering, and so on. Egypt dates back to the 4th millennium BCE, has one of the oldest civilizations on Earth, and as such is one of the very popular countries of the continent of Africa and the world at large. This Northeast African country, as at December 2021, had an estimated population of 102,674,145 people. It is the most populous country in the north of Africa and the Arab League of countries that make up the Middle East. The official language of the country is Arabic, and it is also an officially Islamic country with a significant Christian minority. The capital of Egypt is Cairo. Modern Egypt began as a monarchy. It is said to have begun in the year 1922, when the country gained its independence from the British Empire. In 1952, after the revolution, the country merged with Syria to become a republic, and later merged with Syria to form the United Arab Republic in 1958. An alliance that did not last long, as they parted ways in 1961. The government runs on a unitary semi-presidential republic, as they have a president and a prime minister. They also run a multi-party two legislative houses system of parliament. Egypt is one of the leading cultural and intellectual centers of the Arab world. It is home to the Nile River, where most of the population of the country reside and make their living. A large portion of the lands of Egypt has over time turned to deserts, with people sparsely living there. It is also home to the pyramids of Giza and the Sphinx, monuments that have lasted generations and keeps drawing tourists to the country, year in, year out. Egypt therefore is popular for its history, rich deposits of ancient technologies, arts and culture, and its role as a leading power in the Arab, Middle East enclave. There are still so many other popular countries in Africa, such as Ghana, Namibia, Liberia, Algeria, Congo, and so forth, with different factors that make them so well known around the world. The above are the few most famed countries according to tourism, business, and investments, and their histories. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, and share.